What's up, y'all? I feel like my camera a little bit crooked. But it's your girl Lyrics, and I'm bringing this video because I feel like it's important. I just got off a live on Facebook, and I was talking about a couple of different things. Y'all, my camera feeling crooked, and it's bothering me. I hope that it's a little bit better. But I was talking about a little different thing. I am going to put certain parts on my live on Facebook Live. I hope the quality be good, but just listen to the message. I'm not gonna go back over what I. Why is I'm looking over there? That's why I don't like recording on my camera. I'm not gonna go back over a lot of the things that was said on my live. Um, I am gonna put a couple parts on there, but I do want to talk about. I always like touched on the Dark Night of the Soul because I feel like when I was going through the Dark Night of the Soul, a lot of I really didn't have a lot of people that actually shared their Dark Night of the Soul stories, and I think that if you are woke and you've been through the Dark Night of the Soul, please share your story with people because a lot of people really don't know what that feeling of going through the dark night of the soul feel like. They hear people talk about it. They hear people say they went through it, but like, what is it? So I'm gonna explain that because I was on live and I was talking a little bit about it, and I was like, damn, I never explained what my dark night of the soul experience was. And I think when I was going through the Dark Night of the Soul, I was looking up stories, but everybody was just basically saying what they went through. I mean, not even what they went through, but what it was. What is it? They was just, but nobody was saying how the Dark Night of the Soul. So everybody, you know, get together, get wind down, get your juice, get your pop, get your burger, get your steak, get your fries, whatever you want to get. So I can tell you, I guess it's gonna be like a story time. I could tell you how it was to go through the dark night of the soul. So basically, let's I'm gonna start it off with. I don't even want to go too far because it'd be too long, but I'm gonna touch on some things. So basically, before I get into my visions and stuff that I was having, so basically, what caused me to go through the dark night of the soul was basically lack, lack. It was the trauma of lack. I was going through a lot. I had lost my job. I was in a relationship. Well, the relationship I just got out of, and it was becoming turmoil because they didn't like their job, and I was stressed. And then they ended up losing their job. I ended up getting a job, so it was like I had to carry them, and it was so much pressure, and it was so much stress. So then I end up losing stuff. I end up losing like my house, and then I end up getting another house. Well, I didn't lose my first house because I lost it. It was fucking the house was deteriorating, so they moved me in another house. Then that house was so like two times the rent of the last house, and then I lost my job, and it was a lot. But I'm just saying, trying to give y'all a gist of how you could be forced into the dark night of the soul because you don't go there on your own. So basically, when I went through all this stuff, I was broken, and a lot of us become broken when with the experiences that happen in our life. So I was broken. Sorry if y'all hear my kids, but I was broken to the point of non-repair. So literally, I was feeling like I was dying. Like I felt like I had a moment where I felt like I was suffocating, and I was just like, I was having panic attacks, and I was depressed. I was going to see a psychiatrist. I was going to see a med specialist, And I put my story out there. My voice, I just lost my voice. I'm putting my story out there because I know there's somebody going through this right now. So I was like feeling like so much things in me was broken. So basically, I literally start to, smoke and try to numb myself. And I'm trying to go back to exactly where I remember, making a YouTube channel. And it's crazy because I don't remember this clearly. I remember making a YouTube channel as in, damn, I don't know what put it on my heart to make one. And I didn't even know what direction I was going in. Like a lot of us don't even know what direction, and that's gonna be in the story too. But I didn't even get to the story. I'm just building. I'm just getting on the bit, the 3D build up, and then I'll go into the 5D build up in a second. The 3D build up was I had so much turmoil in my life. I started gaining so much weight. I was going through a hard time in life. Could not keep a job um, because of the way that they was treating me. Y'all, this is added in me. I'm sorry, I have to stop the video. This video gonna be kind of long, y'all. I'm sorry, but when I was saying I had lost my job and I lost my grandma. Like my grandma, she was my rock. So I lost a lot in this period of time. I lost my grandma and all of that, and it just was total chaos. And then I ended up losing one of my cousins. I ended up losing I had already lost my father. I lost my uncle. It was too much. I had lost so much, so it really put me in a dark place. That's all I wanted to add. Continue with the video. I don't know what's trying to take my voice away. I don't know what's trying to stop me from talking. But I was, let me calm down. Cause something trying to take over. Hold on, give me a second. Get your water in, you know. But I feel like something is trying to pull me, and I need to pray about it. God, I ask that you put protection over me. You send the angels and everything because whatever is trying to stop this message. And I ain't ever think telling my story would be so difficult. It's something, some type of present here trying to stop me from talking. So somebody must need to really hear this. Ooh, it's a present. So basically, when I was going through all this turmoil, the devil was really at play. He was at play. He was, ooh, he was using people around me to basically distract me from what I needed to do. So basically, I went through a dark night of the soul. I spiritually awakened. Then I went through a dark night of the soul, and then I came out, and I was kind of like, I don't feel like I was stagnant. I was in limbo. You have this period of time where you become in limbo because you're not up, you're not down. You just you're not super spiritual, but you just kind of in limbo. So after this limbo period, because I started to fall back into the old habits, the old way of doing things. So once I got back into doing old bad habits that took me, because I was having an identity crisis. Like I literally did not want to attach from my ego, and I know there's a lot of people that do not want to attach from their old self. I was so comfortable with my old self. I knew my old self. Shit, I've been dealing with my old self for 30 something years. So I knew what my old self had to offer. I knew every quality that my old self had, which was my ego. And I don't even know why I didn't even do a little mic test, but it looked like it's going. So I'm gonna be mad if I record this video and y'all can't hear me, but I do see it. So y'all, this is getting so weird and this is getting crazy. And I'm sorry, my angle probably different because this is getting out of hand. I swear I did not know. This is probably why a lot of people do not record their experience because the enemy is at work right now. The enemy is working hard. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm so overwhelmed. But I'm going to get this message out, this story out, no matter how hard it is. Because now I'm starting to get a migraine. Whew, and it's a heavy present around me right now. So, oh my goodness, I need to go. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go get my cross real quick. Yeah, like that's how serious it is. I had to go get my cross. My cross. Like I don't know what present is around and I don't know what it is, but it's heavy. So when I'm talking about this, I'm not even talking about anything crazy. That's what's making it a little eerie. But let me go back into what I was talking about. So I had so much turmoil in my life. I had someone bust my windows out, of my car. I had someone break into my house. I was going through hella things. And then when I had lost my job and I had this high ass rent, my landlords, they was evil. And I was like, give me a second. And I wasn't even a month late. They took me to court. So I had went to this program and I thought that this program was gonna help me because somebody referred me and they said, oh, they helped me for a whole year while I got on back on my feet. So I was like, oh, okay. I looked at that as a blessing. So when I went to the program, they actually helped me, and I thought, okay, they was gonna help me for multiple months. That was my fault for assuming that. So I had been struggling for a whole 2 years during, the crisis we had. Um, and I was like, couldn't get enough hours or whatever. And so basically, I was never, afloat after that because I was trying to, pay all my bills that I couldn't really pay. And I was trying to, still pay my rent and do the right thing and all of that. And I was still paying my rent and stuff. So then the next month, I thought that, that program was going to help me. So I was like, you know what? I could finally get things that I need for my house. And it was things like a dish rack. We had a dish rack, the same dish rack for a minute. And I almost cried when I was telling this. I did tell this in one of my videos because it was just really necessity things like stuff that we needed, that like toiletries. And I was finally happy that I could go and buy things for the house. So then I got a letter saying that, um, oh, well, we are we in our program? So I was like freaking out because I'm like, I thought that we was going to get some, help for a little bit. And they was like, no, we got to end it because we're running out of funding and all of this stuff. So I was like, oh, snap. I'm not gonna have enough money for my rent. I did have some of my rent, but I didn't have like $200 extra. So I talked to my landlord, tried to do the right thing, not avoiding it. Go to them and say, hey, I I can give you the rest of the money next week. and they was evil. Like, these were some evil people. They put an 80-year-old lady out on the street that stayed in her house for 25 years because she was struggling through the crisis. So I knew who I was working with. I was working with the enemy, the devil himself. So that's when I was like, when I told them and I explained the situation, they was like, well, we already worked with you, which they didn't. Oh, well, waiting for the money for the program to send us the money, which they got the money like 2 weeks later. So I'm like, you didn't even have to wait that long for the money. So she was like, we're not waiting a week. We're going to take you to court. So, I mean, it was nothing really I can do. So basically, I was waiting on, and I tried to get me a lawyer and whatnot, and the lawyer was working with the enemy, kikiing with them, and I just feel like she wasn't helping me, and so I basically went through all of that, and then I thought, okay, this is where the story ends. Like I say in my other story, I thought this was where the story ended. So basically, after that, they still wanted more. I moved out their house. I cleaned it. I did what I could. They only gave me 11 days to move out, and this was the week of Thanksgiving. Nobody was signing leases. Nobody was doing anything. Like, so they wanted me to get out the week of Thanksgiving. Everything was shut. Everything was closed. So I was trying to find a place, and because they wouldn't even accept my money, when I went to court, I had the full amount. And I thought, once I go to court and I have the full amount, they'll let me pay it, and it won't be no eviction. No, they refused to accept my payment. So I was like, oh fuck, I'm scrambling. I'm trying to figure out where my kids gonna go. I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna go, and then they told me, I said, all I ask is that you guys do not put this on my record, and so that I can find another property. They said, okay. They said, you are not evicted. You just have to get out. They don't want to rent to you guys no more. Just get out. So I was like, okay, I breathe. Okay, this not on my record. Nothing is going on. So I get to looking for houses and stuff in apartments. And they like, oh, we see a pending eviction on your record. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm going through a process of getting out. It's not an eviction. They didn't want to hear it. They refused me. I was giving up hope, and I was just like, I was breaking. And I was like, you know, God, why is this happening to me? All I want to do is be good for the world. I just want everybody to be happy. So why is my life being so in turmoils? And that's when I first came to God. That was the first time. Because I didn't know where to turn to. I couldn't turn to nobody in my life. Nobody in my life was willing to help me. Nobody in my life cared what I was going through. So I was like, okay, I turned to God, and God answered my prayers. I prayed, and guess what? Boom, this apartment I'm in right now. I went and they accepted me. And that's when I feel like God take you through these things, or your higher power, whatever you claim, take you through these things so that you can realize that you cannot do it on your own. So basically, after that, I got the place. I thought it was done. That's what I was trying to get to. I thought it was done. These people still wanted more from me. They wanted money from me. They wanted, and guess what? They got it. So I was really questioning in God. I'm like, God, I'm doing what you want. I'm doing everything you need me to do. So why was they able to win when they know they didn't have no proof, no nothing. They just said what they said, and the judge ruled in their favor. So I had to really start to think about everything. I started to reflect. And when I first named my channel Face and Reflection, I didn't even know I was going to go reflect. I didn't even know why I came up with that name. It came to me and I just used it. I didn't question it. I didn't even know why. But now looking back at it, I get it. I was going to be facing my reflection, everything that I was trying to run from, everything I was trying to hide, all the ego that I was trying to live in. I was going to have to face it. And basically, after all of this mess went, I started to make videos. I didn't even have no direction. I just was making whatever. Then I started to look at other spiritual people and say, well, and at first I didn't even know I was spiritual, but I knew I didn't fit in with religion. Never. I never did. So basically, after that, I started making videos because I was in a dark place. And I just started, if you go back, if you want to go back and look at my other videos, that's good. This video gonna be kind of long, so I'm sorry because they trying to take my voice. But so after that, I was going through it. I found joy in just making videos and venting. Yeah, sometimes they ain't make no sense. They was bad quality. You know, all of that. It was not about that for me. It wasn't about making no audience. It wasn't about none of that. It was just me, using an outlet to vent. And I didn't even care if nobody seen it. I wanted to go back. I rewatch my videos. I watch my videos more than I watch other people's videos. So actually do this stuff for me when I need encouragement as well. So basically, after all that was said and done, this is when the visions started to come in. And this is where I know this is 12 minutes into the video. So this is where the actual story is about to start. So if you guys want to actually hear the whole feel of the Dark Night of the Soul, then please watch the next videos. I'm about to tell the story of how I actually feel with the visions of the Dark Night of the Soul. So please like and subscribe. Watch this next video because this one is getting too long. So please continue. If you want to hear the actual juicy story of my Dark Night of the Soul journey, it's going to be in the next video. You guys, love yourself, love others, be true to you. Create the life that you desire. Create the life that you deserve. Peace.